conservation programs may benefit farmers in unexpected ways. Our Grow co-host Marilyn Barnett has more.
This is the goal behind an effort launched by the USDA, and you can be part of this as Rich Nelson, wildlife biologist, joins us now here via Skype. So first of all, let's talk about how the monarch butterfly really plays a role in the way that we need to conserve and livelihood even.
Well, the monarch butterfly, of course, is very recognizable. Some people would call it an iconic species that sort of represents a lot of different flora and fauna that we know and love here in Nebraska. It's also a very unique species that migrates to Mexico every winter. And so as an international issue, it can serve kind of almost like an umbrella species that helps us monitor the health of our ecosystem.
And are they in trouble? What's the situation now facing them?
Well, basically what we're seeing is a long-term decline over a 10 to 20-year period of the overall population of monarchs. And because they occupy such a large area through their migration and they have such a complex life history, there's a number of different factors that might play into that. So there's research going on to try to figure that out. But the bottom line is because of those declining numbers, people are trying to take action to be proactive to try to conserve their habitat and improve the health of the species.
What can we do to help in the conservation efforts here?
Well, what we're focused on, especially through some of the offerings that we're doing through USDA and some of our other conservation partners that are joining in this effort, is to really focus in on the flowering plants that they need in order to survive. Most people maybe know this, but monarch butterflies, like a lot of butterflies, have a specific host plant, and they have to use that host plant in order to reproduce. In the case of monarchs, it's a milkweed, and there's a number of different milkweed species that are, of course, common across Nebraska. And then the other factor is they also need flowering plants in order to just feed and gain strength and energy in order to do that migration to the south. So there's a number of different species that are native wildflowers that we're trying to put out on the landscape in that regard.
And some of these things can work with someone's pasture, for instance, and they can get help managing this and get started. How does someone get started and get the information they need to do something?
Well, specifically related to this funding opportunity to provide cost share assistance through U.S. Department of Agriculture and the NRCS programs, a producer would need to be eligible for participation in Farm Bill programs. They would go to their local USDA service center and inquire about that and sign up. And then we would go do a site visit and visit with them about their objectives and how this opportunity might fit in with their farm or ranch operation. As you mentioned, on grazing lands, on marginal croplands, places that maybe are on the edges of fields, etc. Those are all places that we could consider opportunities to develop monarch and habitat for other pollinators.
Thank you so much. And again, when they migrated, they happened to go through Kearney one day. I happened to see an amazing sight. So thank you so much for joining us. And if you do have questions, you want to do something with your own land or operation, go to our website, nebraska.tv. We'll have the information right there for you.
Weather's up next. Later, twin girls share their farm story with others.